Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing yet another trying new makeup. I wasn't going to do this yet, but we still have more to test and I want to get everything on and show you guys up close. So I will link everything down below. If you're excited about new makeup, give this video a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I've got you zoomed in. I am in my full fall mode. It's freezing here. It's rainy, which we do actually need rain because it's been so dry, but it is freezing. Like we're in the 30s and 40s overnight. It's kind of like a roller coaster. We're going up, down, up, down. I don't know if you can relate, but we are here in Ohio. I never know what kind of weather it's gonna be. So I busted out the sweater because I am cold. This sweater I love. I purchased this from Quince. I've been talking about them recently because I made my first order, fell in love, and then went back and made a couple more. And this is one of the sweaters that I got. And I love that it has like these kind of bell sleeves. It's very soft and it has kind of like a turtleneck, mock neck. I love a mock neck, turtleneck situation, especially in the fall. And I can't stand sweaters that are stiff or like itchy. So this one being so like soft, I'm just obsessed. So highly recommend them just if you're looking for basics in your wardrobe. But I want to start off with a lip oil. Now Guerlain did send me their holiday collection. Not everything, but I think 4 pieces or 3 pieces. I wanted to start out with one of these Be Glow lip oils. So in their holiday collection, they do have 2 shades, and this is the Sparkling Peach. So I thought that we would apply this on the lips and see what kind of hydration it gives. I've never tried the lip oil formula from Guerlain. It does have a honey sort of scent to it, but it looks relatively sheer. Feels really nice. The applicator is very like soft. This is definitely a thicker formula if you like that. It's not going to be slipping all over. It has some tack to it, so it feels like it's going to stay on. I don't think there's much pigment to it other than just a little bit of sparkle, but again, that would probably show up better if I put it like on a nude lipstick or something, but it feels really, really hydrating on the lips, and I'm actually happy that it does not have a floral scent. That is something that I just can't stand. And for those of you that like when I talk about fragrance, I have 2 to mention today. I purchased both of them, and now that I think about it, I actually will have 3 in this video. I think I'm gonna edit in a clip of my thoughts because I did same day delivery the new 7 Virtues buttercream frosting. I can't remember the name of it. So I will put a clip in here of my thoughts because it's not gonna come until later tonight. But the 2 I wanna talk about have a similar vibe. One is a body mist and then one is an actual fragrance. So let's start off with this. This is the Grinch in collaboration with Kish, and this is a hair perfume. So this is called the Whoville Cookies. Now I will say something is a little sus because when I got my package, the box looked like it had been opened, and I kind of feel like somebody used this and returned it, or it was a tester or something. So I'm not thrilled about that, but I do have to say I'm not really picky. Like I'm not a picky consumer. I don't really ask for like refunds or replacements if a shade's broken or things like that. And it's mostly just because honestly I have ADHD, and dealing with customer service and just like mundane things like that is far worse than somebody spraying my perfume a few times, but I just wanted to mention that. So this is described as a warm cookie scented hug with a delicious swirl of buttercream caramel, vanilla, and toasty tonka bean. Now, I really like this. I spritzed this on me earlier this morning. I mean, this smells, it smells like a cookie. It does. It smells like a cookie. It has a little bit of that caramel, but it's more on the buttercream side, I would say. It doesn't have the dreaded buttered popcorn scent. I do not like that. Seems quite strong too. It's very cozy, very warm. It has, I don't know, like a toffee buttercream sort of vibe to it. It is very, I guess, food realistic. So if you don't like that, you may not like this. But if you like that type of scent, This is a 10 out of 10. I don't know in terms of longevity because I just literally got it last night and sprayed it on this morning. I'm really happy that I got this one because it will just mix with literally any vanilla fragrance that I wear. And then this one I was a little bit iffy on because I'd read some reviews that said things that I didn't like, but I did order the rollerball of the Skylar Double Dates. Now I'm a huge fan of Skylar. I've been raving about them for years on my channel before they even became more mainstream. And this is the newer, I guess, version of Skylar because Leah from Love Island, I don't know if she owns it or she's like part owner, but she is now, I think, like creative director and actually choosing the scents. The keynotes are sweet dates, sticky toffee, and brown sugar. I have to say that this smells so good to me, insanely sweet. So if you like gourmands that are realistic, they smell like actual cupcakes and cakes and things of that nature, you will love this. I'm talking like sweet, sweet. I get a lot of that sticky toffee in here, but I also am getting a ton of brown sugar. It has a hint, I would say, of maple in it, not like Sniff hotcakes, but there is a hint of it in there. It just smells, honestly, like sticky, sweet, drizzly toffee. I don't know how else to describe it. My only complaint about Skylar is I wish that they would do sprays, and I actually did purchase sprays that are compatible with the Skylar. I changed them into sprays. So you can get like the little spray toppers from Amazon, and then you can just pop out the roller ball and put the spray on because I just don't reach for roller balls like I do a spray. So I wish they would change that. And they don't last the longest. Skylar fragrances are in general more sweet and light, so they're not gonna last as long as, let's say, like a Marc Jacobs or something like that. So I absolutely love this. It dries down into this like warm, cozy, sweet gourmand. It is similar to Sticky Dates from Lush, and I think that's where the inspiration came from because she did, I think, talk about Sticky Dates and it went viral. So it's similar, but I would say even more sickly sweet and just more syrupy overall. So I think it's a win if you love like crazy sweet gourmands. Like me, you will love this. Editing Babs here. So I did get my 7 Virtues Buttercream Haze, and I think this smells pretty spot on to what they say. The maple caramel cream, it's not overly maple like, let's say, Sniff hotcakes, but it does have that DNA. So you are going to get some of that like syrupy pancake sort of scent. I actually really like this. I think it smells pretty good. If you don't like crazy gourmands, you wouldn't like this because it is like sickly sweet, like edible. So next I want to start on an eye look, and I'm going to do something very simple. I did receive in PR from Natasha Denona her holiday collection. So she sent over this, which is the Dream Pouch. Now this is available now. I will link it below. But inside you get a plethora of products. Some of these products are new variations, like this little mini palette, but they're existing shades from her My Dream palette and her previous collections. But I just wanted to note, I find it confusing when brands do that. Like Hourglass does it a lot. It's very confusing when they take colors from different collections. I would prefer them just come out with brand new, but that's just me. Along with that, she sent over this Essential Eyeshadow Duo. This feels nice in the hand. It doesn't feel cheap or lightweight, so the packaging is actually nicer in person. And inside you get a matte shadow and then a kind of like topper glitter. Now I will say that I wish she would have came out with like 5 different variations. I thought it was a little strange that this came out just by itself, and I don't know if it's like testing the waters and seeing how people react. So this looks like a glittery kind of sheer topper, and then you have this light, really soft, kind of like pinky peach shade. Okay, so it swatches more intensely on the hand than it does on the finger. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip into the matte shade here. And I just wanna use this in the crease. It has a nice kind of peachy tone to it. I do wonder if she plans to come out with different shades. That would make sense to me. That brush was feeling kind of scratchy, so I'm switching And to be honest, my eyelids are like super dry right now, which is not ideal. Plus we're going into that time of year. I almost feel like that brush like scratched off some of my base. It almost looks like more textured on this side. It definitely does, because if you compare each side, this is more smooth and this one's like choppy. That brush was like stabbing me in the eyeballs. Next, I'm just gonna use my fingertip on this shimmery shade. It's very, very soft and very thin. And I'm not using any glitter glue to start. I might spritz this. It's very fine. Like, it's not chunky glitter. It's very fine. So I went ahead and spritzed my fingertip to see. Yeah, I feel like it does help give you more of that intense shimmer. But without the spritz, it is more of like a scattered look, which I actually do like. It's interesting how I feel like every brand now is doing like toppers. We've moved from just like standard metallics to everything has to be like glitter toppers. I feel like this eye is like really giving me trouble. It's like not wanting to stick. I mean, it's pretty. I'm not blown away. I think it's okay. I'm going to put some liner on. I'm gonna use this KVD in Mad Max Brown, just because overall this is like a very, very soft look. I haven't done like a super lifted wing in a while. Why not? Let's just go there. All right, so I went ahead and did my wings. They were a struggle today. I'm not really loving my eye look. It's just not my best day, but I wanna move on to complexion. I did apply a couple little clusters and I'm gonna let them dry and then I'm gonna curl my lashes because everything is just going straight down right now. But I did also purchase this from Ulta. So this is new from Bioma and this is their Hydrating Milky Moisturizer. So I love their milky toner and I just wanted to try this because it popped up new. So let me get some of this out here. It has a pump. All right, any day now. Is something wrong here? Okay, actually I have a cramp from trying to get this to pump. Is this broken? There we go. Okay, so I actually had to switch hands. That's how tired I just got. That was a workout, but this is what it looks like. So it does feel pretty thin in texture. So I just have 3 pumps here and I'm just gonna apply this and we'll see how this does. Under makeup, it says that you can use it morning and night. And I've had really good luck with Bioma skincare. It's just very non-irritating, I think because there's no fragrance and the price point is really nice. This kind of has like a glide to it. It's a very thin moisturizer. It has a slip to it. Almost feels like a thicker milky toner rather than a full-blown moisturizer. And it almost leaves a stick. Actually, it does. It leaves a stick on the skin. I feel like that tack is calming down a little bit just as it sits on the skin. I'm also gonna go in with a little bit of my BabsBeauty. This is the Dream Barrier Cream. I raved about this because it is incredible. It is just truly insanely hydrating, no scent to it, and it almost like blurs the skin because it has, I don't know, that like thick kind of barrier feel to it. For foundation today, I went ahead and picked up a different color in this Tier Mask Fit red foundation. I purchased this and did a first impressions in my last video, and I felt like, well, I know it was very, very warm and very, very like olive toned and a little deep for me. I still wanted something with a little bit of depth because I want to be able to use it with or without a self tan. So I switched to 22N, and before I had 22W. And looking at this swatch, I would say these still run very, very warm. I'm hoping this will work. I'm gonna do a couple pumps, and then I'm gonna mix in my LA Girl Pro Mixing Pigment just to kind of tone it down. I've been using that a ton lately because, to be honest, I haven't been self-tanning. I've been lazy, and it feels good, to be honest. So I'm going to see, oh yeah, that lightened it up quite a bit. One thing I want to note that I don't know if I said in my other video is this fragrance does have a scent to it, which I'm kind of confused by. It kind of smells like a cleaning product, which is sort of strange. This is marketed to be a full coverage but luminous finish, which I didn't really get the luminous part. All right, so this is what the Tier foundation looks like freshly applied. I would say when in doubt, go for a neutral or cool tone. I just feel like this is still running quite warm, even being a neutral shade. The coverage is very high, and I do see that luminosity that it claims, but it's not like a dewy luminosity. The shade is still off, but once we get everything on, I think the powder will help. So now I want to go into these new contour stylos. This is the Precision Sculpture Stylos from KJH, who is Katie Jane Hughes. She's an incredible makeup artist. So they sent these over to me, and you can use these pretty much anywhere on the face. So I want to try to use them to contour my lips and then also just contour the cheeks, even though they're smaller. We have Chisel here, which looks like a pretty intense brown shade. I wonder if these are similar to how the Rhode lip contours were supposed to be, hopefully with better lasting power. We also have Etch, which is lighter and warmer, and the texture of these doesn't feel too slick, which is promising. And then we also have Engrave, which is definitely deeper. So I think I'm going to go in with the first shade called Chisel. I'm actually going to just remove some of that Guerlain lip oil. And I'm actually gonna take this brush from Refer. This is a 26. And I just wanna use this to shape. I don't ever really do this. I know Nikki LaRose swears by it. Okay, why do I look like I'm just dirty? Okay, let's try that again. I'm actually going to switch to the lighter shade that is called Etch. And I'm gonna apply it on the actual lips and soften. I don't ever do this, so it's a little bit strange for me. I overline my lips with liner, but I don't contour them. I like it in the center, like I can see the vision, but I don't like it around. So I'm gonna take, I wonder if I should use that same shade. Yeah, I guess let's start with that shade. Put some of it on my hand. That's the only thing, like if you're gonna use it to contour the face, I just don't know how that's gonna work because I don't typically like swiping straight on the skin. Okay, that's pretty sheer. Let me build this up. I mean, I'm assuming this is more for like targeted, there we go, contour, you know, your lips, your eyes, things like that. Okay, that actually blended nicely. It's not a super wet formula, which I like. It's not sticky or too like dewy. All right, so this is what the stylo from KJH looks like on the skin. I think the formula is really nice. It was very easy to blend. Because it is so small, I wouldn't use it every day for like my cheeks. I just wanted to try it for you guys. I do want to test it on the eyes in another video, but if you're somebody that really likes to do like the lip contour, this might be really convenient. And I prefer the lightest shade, which is called Etch. So now I want to go in with blush, and I have this Lancome Juicy blush. I purchased this. This is the shade 10. which is just like a really pretty baby pink. So I just thought that I would demo this because I also wanted to use some other blushes and highlighters. This is a juicy formula, meaning that it is more of a dewy formula, but it's very, very thin and it's not overly pigmented. So you do have the ability to build it up or have like a really sheer look. Of course, I only have the lightest shade, but I mean, it blends in very easily. I have also used this on my lips and it works well for that too. So this is what the Lancome looks like. I mean, I do really like it. I think it's pretty and it's a very easy formula to work with. So I'm gonna go in next with concealer. I don't have a new concealer to try, so I've just been reaching for my Tower 28 as of late, and it's just been working the best for me. So I'm just gonna use an A506 brush to blend this in. I know they did release or announce the Sephora dates, and I have to tell you that I am preparing my recommendations. There are so many amazing products, and I'm not joking. Now, you know, saying that, there are so many mediocre products as well that have come out, but I have a lot to share. So that actually is really exciting when there's just like a bunch of products that I want to recommend because it gives you options. And to set, I am going to use this Melt She's Alive powder. They did bring it back permanently and it has more of like a peach tone. So it really helped kind of calm down the warmth with the Tier foundation. So I'm just going to set all over. All right, so I went ahead and did some finishing touches, but I want to move into highlighter. I was actually going to demo the new Rem Beauty blush, but I think that I already have like a lot of blush on, and I just don't think that applying more would be a good idea, so I'll have to save that for another video. But I have mentioned this Dior highlighter. So this is from their holiday collection. The packaging is so beautiful. So I purchased this and I have been loving this. So I wanted to demo this on one side of my face. This is what it swatches like. It is so beautiful. You can make it more intense. It's just stunning. But I also was sent this from Guerlain. So this is their terracotta luminizer for holiday in Rosy Gleam. Now looking online, it almost looked like it had like a variation, but in person, I don't see any variation. It looks like a soft, kind of like peachy pink. So I want to swatch it. I can already smell the luxury smell. Okay, wow. That is intense. So compared to the Dior, this is a much more like foiled version or formula. The Dior, you can buff in and make it more subtle and then build it up. Whereas this, holy moly. I mean, this Guerlain is not playing around. It's very pretty. So I thought that I would use one on one side, one on the other. So let's go in with the Guerlain. I don't know if Guerlain, I'm not sophisticated if you haven't noticed. So I'm just gonna dip in with a clean brush. Okay, this is definitely has some glitter. It is glittery, 100%. So just something to keep in mind. On the actual brush, you can see the glitter. And then as you apply, it's very, very pretty, but there is glitter kind of dusting around. But it is definitely a glitter formula, which I could see because we are going into the holidays. I want to go in on the other side with my Dior. It just goes on so seamlessly and then builds and builds and builds if you want more intensity. So I'm gonna build this up even more. I mean, there is, you know, some glitter. The fact that I can dust most of the glitter particles away, but I don't like lose all of the pigment, but it is really pretty. I mean, for holiday, glitter is kind of in. All right, so I'm gonna wipe away some of this powder. I was hoping that it would just like kind of lighten up the skin. That foundation oxidized. Was that just me? I don't feel like the other one oxidized the other day, but the color was terrible. So I'm gonna go in with this Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Lip Crayon, and this is in that kit, and it is in the shade Natasha, which looks like a really pretty, just like Your Lips But Better. Has more of a cooler tone. The shade pulls really cool on me. I love her lip liner formula. So now I want to get into the gloss, not the gloss, the lipstick. Okay, the lipstick, we're almost there. This is from her holiday collection, and this is in Natasha, My Metallic Dream Lipstick. This looks so pretty. It has like glitter. I turn my lights down, see if this will focus. So let's go ahead and swatch this shade. Oh, wow. So it is metallic. Ooh. It's very smooth on the lips. Like it doesn't feel thick or chunky. It definitely is metallic, but I would say that it's still somewhat wearable. I would probably use this just a little bit on top of like a nude lip and not do it like full throttle, but I wanted to show you what it looks like on the lips. So I am going to just press in any excess powder. And then I want to take this Dior highlighter and I just want to use this down the center of my nose and on the tip. I like that this highlighter is like really buildable. So you can make it super intense or you can kind of sheer it out. And to set the makeup in place, I'm still testing this Pat McGrath setting spray. I really haven't noticed much from it other than it does sort of settle powders. So I'm just going to spray this all over the face. I just want everything to sort of settle because I did use quite a bit of powder to try to change the undertone of that foundation or tone it down. All right, guys, so this is my finished makeup look, trying out some new products. I have to say it's not my favorite. There's a couple reasons why, so let's get into what I think. So I actually do really like how this Guerlain lip oil felt on the lips. I felt like it really hung around, more of a sticky formula. It has very, very, very sheer glitters in there, which does track for, you know, a luxury brand. Packaging is beautiful. I do think this is a really nice formula. I wish I had a little more pigment, but I did really like the feel of it and it was very high shine. The Natasha Denona eye topper or eyeshadow duo, I am not that impressed with it. Now I'm gonna continue to try it out with an unset lid or maybe some glitter glue. It swatches beautifully, but on the eyes, I just felt like this didn't adhere the best, even when I did spritz my finger with a setting spray. And for the price, I just think it's okay. Again, I'm gonna have to continue to test it, but I wasn't like wowed. Now, the Tear foundation, I cannot get the right shade to save my life because I feel like I somehow look even more tan than I did when I filmed with this the other day. And that shade was like super dark on me. So I don't know, jury is out on this. I like the way that the formula looks. It's very, very high coverage, quite smoothing. It feels comfortable. It wears pretty well. But the shades, I'm gonna have to go down like way, way down because everything is pulling so warm and so dark on me. I actually do like this Bioma Milky Moisturizer. I feel like it's kind of a thicker version of their Milky Toner, and this actually did have a tack to it, so I wonder if that was intentional or if that's just the ingredients being super hydrating, but I do tend to like all the products that I try from that brand. Now, in terms of the KJH, I think this is really, really nice and convenient if you like to contour around your lips or you like to add some in the crease of your eye. It was really blendable. It was wasn't too pigmented, but not sheer. It did not disrupt any of my products, and it set with powder very easily. So I think this is a good formula, but I do think that the nature of this product is meant for like detail sculpting rather than using all over your face like I did. As I mentioned before, I do love this formula from Lancome. I don't hear anyone talking about it, but even though it's juicy, it does play well with powder. And I have noticed that even though it's more of a buildable formula, it's not like the Rare Beauty where it's like crazy pigmented off the bat. I've noticed that it stays. Like if you look at my cheeks, I did not apply any blush on top. So all of the flush that you see is literally this underneath powder. It just plays well with powder, even though it is more of a dewy formula. I like that it's very thin, and I can also use it on the lips. I may actually pick up another shade. And then in terms of the highlighters, I much prefer the Dior, just everything about it. It's just not as glittery. It can be buffed into the skin. It can be built up to be more intense. I love the color of it. I don't find that I have a shadow when I'm looking forward. The packaging is beautiful. I just highly recommend this. I have been loving this. Whereas the Guerlain is really, really pretty. I would like to try this on the eyes, but it does have glitter, and it's that kind of glitter that does kind of dust all over the cheeks, which isn't my favorite. The only good thing about it is you can dust away that glitter pretty easily, so it's not like forever on there, but I would spray your face with a setting spray before you use this, or spritz your brush, and that will help. I mean, it is holiday time. Everything is like glitz and glam, so I'm willing to give it a pass because, you know, it's luxury beauty, holiday time, and sometimes it's fun to have a little bit of, you know, glitter. And then the Natasha Denona, this lip crayon is pulling really, really, really cool on me, and I don't know if it looks even more cool because my foundation is so warm, but I feel like it almost looks gray. I already love this formula, but this shade is quite cool on my complexion, a little bit light for me as well. I tend to like something that's a little bit more defining. And then the lipstick I think is pretty. I would say it's more of a sheer metallic. It doesn't really have glitter throughout. When you swatch it, you will see that the glitter kind of disappears and it's just coating around. So it's more of a metallic through and through, which I am enjoying. I did just recently review the Dazzle crayons or Dazzle lip crayons from MAC, and I really liked them. This is something that I would use on top of another lipstick. I just wanted to demo it for you today so you could see what it looks like alone, but it is more of like a soft sheer formula. Feels very comfortable. I don't feel any of the grit, which is also really nice. I think it's a pretty fun addition for holiday. So those are my initial first impressions. Of course, I'm going to have to come back and follow up. I have so many products to follow up on. It's going to be a lot to go through, but I hope you guys did enjoy this video and you got to see some products in action. I know that I have a little bit of a different opinion on products than I thought I would, even looking at them in person versus applying them to the skin. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Of course, I will link everything that I shared today down below in my description box. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. As always, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.